This week, Town Council will vote on a land swap that could allow the Barnstable shooting range to reopen. Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mary Schakowsky, is gearing up for the upcoming school year, and state funding will allow Cape Cod Community College to launch a new program next year. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, August 4th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannell. The shooting range could reopen soon. This week, Town Council will vote on a proposed land swap that, if passed, would allow the shooting range to reopen. Town Manager Tom Lynch says in order to operate a range on the property, it would need to be on municipal land and not conservation land.
That component where there'd be the putting of the current shooting range into municipal, and then having that legislation go up to the State House for review and passage to allow for this sort of transfer from conservation to municipal take place will be on the agenda for Thursday evening, and I'll be looking forward, because I know Mark Ellis has been working very hard on this with trying to talk to all the various constituent groups, has been helping you put together an informational piece on this, so hopefully it'll clear up some of the issues that people may have.
Town Council meets this Thursday night in the Town Hall hearing room at 7. That meeting will air live on Channel 18. 12 new administrators are joining Barnstable Public Schools for the upcoming school year. Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mary Schakowsky says she is getting ready to host an administrators leadership workshop next week to help bring them up to speed.
Tuesday, August 12th through the 15th, and we're going to be welcoming 12 new administrators, and we do have for the first time a separate administrator orientation for all the new administrators, separate from our annual retreat, which is about 45 we're up to about 45. Our Barnstable District leadership team now comprises 45 staff members, and that includes central office, all principals, all directors, house-masters, assistant principals. But there's been a significant turnover in leadership, and certainly due to retirements and people moving on. So when we welcome these new people on August 19th as well, we're going to have a separate day for them that they just can, get to know the logistics of the district and how things work. I think even though some of them are experienced administrators, I think it's important for them to, for a smooth transition, be able to get in there and meet with our HR staff, meet with our finance staff, our facilities, our transportation, so on and so forth. So looking forward to that, but first time that we've had to have a separate orientation because we have so many new administrators. But we're looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to next week. It's hard to believe, when that calendar turns the corner for August 1st, things start to kick in, and so really looking forward to the planning this week of next week's 4-day leadership.
Dr. Schakowsky says during the workshop next week, administrators will also begin further special education training paid for by a grant from the Tower Foundation.
Great opportunity for the district. It's a development of a sustainable and coherent system of support for our students. And what we've noticed in the last year or so, increasing number of referrals to special education, increasing number of ELL students, and this is an opportunity time for us to come together as a leadership team to begin to develop a tiered system of support. And what I mean by that is the National Center for Learning Disabilities is going to be working with Barnstable for the next 2 years on this project, and we've received about $300,000 in funding from the Tower Foundation grant to be able to provide training to our principals, work with our teams to develop a tiered intervention of support for our students. So we're looking forward to kicking this off as part of our leadership workshop. And to be able to work with the National Center for Learning Disabilities is really pretty impressive. We're working with a gentleman by the name of Stephen Kukic, and our leadership is going to be utilizing a book entitled District Leadership That Works. And so we're looking forward in developing what are the non-negotiables for student achievement when in Barnstable. And through this Tower grant, we've been able to secure some funding to be able to do some of this training with our principals.
Dr. Schakowsky says she is looking forward to the start of the next school year.
For this year is teaching, leading, and learning what matters most. And each year is I get excited. There's I just completed my welcome back letter to the staff, which will go out the end of this week. And I get excited. There's a beginning and an end in education, unlike other professions, but really excited about the start of the new school year and so many new people.
The first day back to school for students is Tuesday, September 2nd. Cape Cod Community College will be able to continue with plans to establish a new airport mechanic program despite the governor's veto of the funding last month. The state legislature overrode the governor's veto last week, reinstating the $1.95 million to the program in the state budget. Spokesperson Michael Gross says it's a win for the college.
This is an airframe and power plant certification program. What it will do, it will train individuals to inspect and repair the airframe of an airplane, all the basic structure of that airplane, and a component will allow individuals to, again, inspect and repair the power plants of various sizes, and all the way up to being able to work on the huge jets that fly, as well as dealing with small private aviation as well. What it provides is a certification by the FAA that you have attained a level of expertise in airframe and in power plant. And as it turns out, interestingly enough, KPR President Dan Wolf earned this certification a number of years ago as he began his career. We're very excited about it. It is, we think, a signature program to come to Cape Cod. It's something that'll take us a bit to put together, but this was the foundation. Without this override, it's quite likely it would have taken many, many years because of the expense to start the program up for this to come. We're very, very grateful. Senate President Terry Murray really took the lead within the Senate. All of our Cape delegation got on board, very much involved. We also were very lucky to be able to have people like JetBlue, Delta, United writing letters of support for us as well. It is something that, what is interesting is that the governor and the entire administration had supported, but when it came down at the very last minute, I think it was more of a procedural process within the internal politics of Massachusetts that really began to hang things up, and we couldn't be happier. I know President Cox is incredibly pleased. This is a very, very, very important program to him and to the area. What's really going to happen is that over the course of the year, it's going to take a while, but the good news is it's only a year, we'll be able to get our program and its curriculum certified by the FAA. We'll be able to get space, most likely now, at the Barnstable Airport. We'll need our own hangar. We'll need classrooms. We'll need a lot of equipment. This is something that is highly, highly technical and highly, highly specialized, so that it's going to take quite a bit to ramp this all up, which is why the state appropriation was so incredibly important. We're a very small community college. I think there's been some reporting that the governor made a statement that, in fact, our appropriation from the state had gone up 9% over last year. Well, yeah, but what they didn't tell you was last year's appropriation was the amount of money they gave us in 1999. So that the state appropriation in no way could possibly help us bring such a wonderful program to this area. It's also going to bring, I think, the important other piece of this is that this will be a destination program. If I can take a piece out of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce's book, you know, they're desperately trying to make the Cape a destination for tourists. Well, if you make it a destination for people who are going to come literally from quite likely all over the country, we are very happy. I can't speak enough for all of the work that was done by our Cape delegation, all the work that was done by President Cox. People really need to understand this became a 24/7 job for him. Think about, I don't know how many places are going to open up an opportunity on the Cape for you to start off earning well over $45,000 and up to $65,000 with the training that you can get right here.
The $1.95 million in state funds will pay to acquire and renovate space at the Barnstable Municipal Airport for the program. Cape Cod Community College officials expect about 65 students to participate in the program's first year. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will talk with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We'll find out more about our town's beautiful golf courses, and we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.